They just played out game number 1. JimRising had a bit of a hard time there. He assumed it was going to be a more standard game. He was playing pretty straight up Lingbane into Muta, mass Muta. It's the way that he plays. It's the way that he loves. But Kaozfate came at him with a 2-base timing at 6 minutes 30, and JimRising just wasn't ready for it. The push dealt too much damage. It cleared up every drone at the natural base. It killed the third base as well. It got a lot of damage with the mutas. Bathing speed was denied. It was a rough time there for old mate Jaime. But speaking of, we are here in game number 2 and spawning in the top right hand corner of Inside and Out, we have our Mexican Zerg player representing Estral Esports and Macacos all over the world. It is Jaime Arturo Duran Silencio JimRising. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner of Inside and Out, we have the Peruvian Terran for the first time in a long time representing Eximius Gaming. It is Kaozfate. And you know what? I have the power to look this up. I want to quickly check when the last time it was that we casted Kaozfate. I want to say maybe DreamHack Valencia qualifiers, which is only a couple of months to be fair. But it just feels like a long time, you know? It feels like a long time. Let's quickly check Kaozfate. I'm looking at our YouTube channel. Last time we casted him was during the Home Story Cup qualifiers. Home Story Cup in June. In June. Oh my god, that was a long time ago, mate. A long time ago. Before that, it was Copa Hyperion in March. So we didn't even cast him in DreamHack Valencia. Shaking my head. So it's been a very long, it's been months since we've been able to cast Kaozfate, but he is here. The Drunken Master has returned. He's always got a bottle in his hand. He probably still has a bottle in his hand right now as we speak, as he plays StarCraft, but he's still amazing at the game. I think Darky and I, we've debated, we've spent some long nights together going over whether or not Kaozfate either plays better or plays worse when he is inebriated, when he is under the influence. I still don't know. I still do not know. It probably helps more than it hurts, maybe. But we'll see. So far, again, pretty standard openers from both our players. Hatchgas Pool from our Zerg JimRising. Kaozfate going for his own standard opener as well. Going for the Reaper first, followed by the Marine. And we'll see what gets done as the Reaper is here, just chipping away at the mineral line. Not really dealing any damage yet. So far, nice reaction time by JimRising, able to keep up here with said Reaper. But JimRising is doing very JimRising things. What does that sentence mean? Well, JimRising, historically, even if there is nothing to stop him, like there's no Reaper or there's no SCV, JimRising stays on 2 bases a little bit longer. He will delay his third, and he gets 4 queens first, and then he gets the third base. It isn't because he's going all in. It isn't because he wants to hit an early timing. It's just because he wants to play it safe. Up! Oh my god, and very nice movement there with those slow links. He's able to barely catch that Reaper in the end, takes it down. Kaozfate was a little bit too preoccupied. He was trying to scout to see whether or not there was a third base. But again, it's JimRising. He's just droning, and there we go. Finally, he takes the third at 46 supply. It is a little bit inefficient. It is late in comparison. It will mean that his creep spread here at his third base is going to be later as well. But JimRising does this just to be safe, just to be secure, and we can see that he didn't pull out of gas. He actually he did get link speed, and he's going straight into a lair. Now, JimRising is known for many things. He's the king of, or he's the leader of all los macacos, all the apes out there. For those who don't know, that is what macaco is. I mean, that's a word in English as well, to be fair. He is the king of the apes, but he's also the Muta king, not just in Latin America, but the world. He has impeccable Muta micro. He loves playing with Mutas in this matchup if he can get away with it. but Kaozfate won't let him because you know what? Kaozfate has an armory behind this. He's making non-stop Hellions. He is going for a Hellbat push right now, and JimRising recognizes it. He's throwing down a Spinecrawler. He's bringing all of his queens to the natural. His Baneless is about to finish up. He needs Banelings right now. Looking at the unit tab, he has 2 Lings. And he's going for that lair. Again, he wanted to go 2-base Muta. He took all of his gases, and he may just die because of it. We'll see. We'll see how good the defense is going to be. The queens are going to try and hold on here. The Hellbats are going to push on forward. Thankfully, JimRising was on 2 bases a little bit longer, so he does have a little bit more energy on these queens, but the Banelings roll in. They get some connections, not the best ones, though, as the Hellbats continue to break on forward. The Spine finishes up just in time, and it looks like JimRising, with the help of the Spine, with the help of the queens, with the help of the reinforcements, he will defend. Even snipes the medevac out of the supply. Very well done here. I say well done. Obviously, this forced a reaction, and JimRising wanted to start the Spire as soon as possible. As soon as the push gets cleaned up, Spire is started. But again, this is later than he would have liked. I question Kaozfate's moves here because he knows that his opponent stays on 2 bases longer. Like, he will just have more energy for transfuses. He will have more queens, period. So, like, the Hellbat push didn't quite end the game like he would have liked it to have. Oh my god, but he follows up with a Banshee. And in 3 seconds he has Cloak, and there's no Spore. Oh no. Cloak is done. Oh god. No mining here in the main base. This is crippling the economy of JimRising. JimRising has 700 gas, but he needs minerals right now. Oh, he only just now starts to sport the natural. I kind of like this. The Banshee is going for the queens, but ooh, it gets sniped out of the sky. Finally, it gets cleaned up. 7 drone kills. Not bad at all. Could have been worse. Behind this, I mean, the Banshee scouted, saw the fast lair, confirmed the Spire, confirmed the gases. Thor is on the way. Thor is here. This is a really fast Thor. I mean, we have an armory, so because of the armory, it makes sense that we can go into Thor production. This will mean that we don't have a backbone to the army, we don't have tanks, and we don't have winter mines. So it's going to be Marine Thor. Not ideal, but because of the way that JimRising is playing, like, he's not investing a lot into his Lings. There's no Evo chambers. His upgrades are going to be insanely late. He's sacrificing his upgrades for more mutas. And we'll see if that pays off here. I mean, that's why I think that this Thor is really smart from Kaozfate, because he knows how JimRising plays. JimRising has a massive reputation in the Latin American scene for his mutas. So because of that, you know, that Chaos, he's aware. He's preparing for it. Meanwhile, the mutas are on the way. How many do we have? We have 7, 8 mutas on the map right now, and 3 more behind this, so 11 in total. It's a lot of mutas. Will they get caught out though? I love the Sensor Tower being thrown down by Kaozfate to try and catch and figure out where they are. It's so important because we need this Thor to be in position. Do we have any medevacs? Okay, a couple of medevacs are coming out just now. We have another Banshee across the map. Doesn't get any damage done though. The queens were in position, so questionable Banshee as the mutas are en route to try and intercept. They're looking for the Banshee, and they will find the Banshee. But this is buying Kaozfate some time. This is confirming to Kaozfate, okay, you are actually making mutas. You didn't do something weird and cancel your Spire or anything like that. The mutas have been revealed, and now Kaozfate can determine what to do from here. He throws down another wave of missile turrets just in case. That Sensor Tower is going to work so well on the left-hand side, but his right-hand side is a little bit more vulnerable as the mutas do look to dip in. And they will get a kill on one of these turrets at the cost of 1 muta. Not ideal. But these mutas are going to be keeping Kaozfate at home. Finally, double Evo chambers are thrown down here for JimRising at the 3rd base location, so he can finally start his upgrades for his Lings, but for a while he will be behind. 1-1 is already done for Kaozfate. 2-2 is late though. We have the armory, we just don't have the upgrades. Oh, meanwhile, this is going to be a very nice catch for JimRising. He's going to be able to get to this entire drop, not just the Marines, but also the medevacs. Oh, but the stutter stepping is crazy. Oh my god. Kaozfate, baby beyond himself, the drunken master, takes a swig of tequila and he just takes out every single baneling. At the same time, we have another force here on the right hand side without any banelings. Okay, thankfully we do have 4 banelings in the back line, but we also have a Thor, we have our tanks. Kaozfate just making sure there is no 4th base. Looking at the unit slots tab, okay, there wasn't a kill or anything like that. There just was no 4th. Mutas are going for a bit of a surround here, but again, the Thor is in position to protect those tanks. Ooh, baneling does connect, and both tanks go down, so that does take the wind out of the sails of this push, but this is still a terrifying army, and JimRising has to be careful. He dives in! Ooh. And he will clean up everything here. Again, a very nice cleanup from JimRising. Kaozfate is throwing away a lot. He just threw away 2 tanks and a Thor. For what? For Lingbane. Wasn't really worth it in the end. Kaozfate, he's not stopping his aggression, which is really nice. The problem is that his pushes are becoming weaker and weaker. Now he only has 1 tank. Imagine pushing out with 3 instead. Up! The army of JimRising does face check. He runs into the mass marine. Oh my god, another Mutas! Oh, they were left alive for 1 second too long. He goes for the medevacs instead, but the Mutas are so exposed. They take out the tank. Without any tanks, without any Widow Mines, Lingbane is going to reign supreme here. Baneling speed is done. 1-1 on the way for the Zerg. 2-2 did end up starting for Kaozfate, but I feel like he's stuck right now. Oh, there's no way out. Not like this, Puppy. Not like this. He's going to stim on forward. No! Where are the splits, Puppy? Stims forward. Every Marine is going to go down, and Kaozfate throws away almost 30 supply. He had such a lead in that army. He had such a lead in the supply, and he's not stopping with the drops, but at some point I feel like maybe you should. Calm down, Kaozfate, calm down. His economy is great behind this. Look at the worker count. Kaozfate is ahead in those SCVs. He's just behind when it comes to the army right now. He is going to engage. The banelings are a little bit too late, so this is going to be a decent trade here for Kaozfate, but he's still going to lose everything, and even those medevacs, and this is getting out of control. Looking at the units tab, look at how many medevacs we have. We have 2 medevacs. Why? Because he keeps throwing them away. Every single push that gets cleaned up is just -2 medevacs, -2 medevacs, -3 medevacs. It's getting a little bit too much, and that means that his longevity with this main army just isn't there anymore. Imagine if those last 2 drops stayed at home instead, and then he pushed out with everything. Then he pushed out with a massive, maxed out army, which is what he would have. Yeah, he's just a little bit too trigger happy right now. Meanwhile, 3-3 is on the way. His upgrades are impeccable. Like, his macro is insane. It's just his move outs that are what I'm questioning. Meanwhile, across the map, JimRising finally has his 4th up and running. His 5th is on the way. His crease rate is not looking too bad. Doesn't have any protecting his bases, but he does have a presence in the middle of the map, and this will slow down our Terran player as he's now trying to push out. Looking at the units tab, he does have 6 Widow Mines. Not bad at all. Now he has a decent amount of medevacs. This is now an army to be reckoned. A force to be desired. And JimRising knows that, so he goes for a counterattack instead. The mines! No! Oh god, there's a second mine as well. A couple of Thor volleys do connect with the Mutas. This was not the play, Jim. This was not the play. Decent chunk of Mutas go down. Meanwhile, the army, oh my god, the army of Kaozfate rotates towards the right-hand side instead. We have some borrowed banelings here. They're waiting for the retreat if that ever happens. JimRising pulling out all the stops as Kaozfate maxed out. Here we go. The Lingbane is going to dive on in. The Widow Mines are not here. There's only a single Widow Mine with this army, so the Thors are going to go down. Ooh. Again, not the best fight for Kaozfate, pushing out without the support of his Widow Mines. Here we go. Where were they? They were all at home, but now they're coming across the map. Finally, they are joining that main army. Oh, did Kaozfate spot that? The banelings of JimRising, they just repositioned, and they were in vision of those medevacs. Does he see? JimRising, he sees. Oh! The banelings go off only on a handful of Marines, mainly the Thor, to be honest. Did end up getting some of the Widow Mines though. Oh, the Widow Mines are not going to connect. Ay. Again, I don't know if this push is really going to work out for him. The Baileys roll in once again. Marauders in the front line to tank, but there's just too much Ling Bane. Every single time Chaos gets cleaned up, and that was an anti-timing. 3-3 finishes up in 7 seconds. Imagine pushing out with 3-3. Kaozfate, he's just throwing away too much time and time again. But now he has those upgrades. Now it's impossible to hit an anti-timing. He's going for another drop on the left-hand side. The economy of JimRising is honestly finally where it needs to be. 87 drones. Hive is on the way for 3-3. Hive is on the way for Thors, for Ultras, for Vipers. Can he pull it off? See, the drop on the left-hand side is a massive distraction for these mutas. Not going to get anything done here. Kaozfate, the main army, is pushing on the right-hand side. JimRising is going to be forced to cancel the 6th base, but he doesn't need this right now. It's okay. He can afford to cancel. There it is. We have a cancel just in time. The mutas are turning around and coming back home. Our mine's going to be in position. This time they are pre-borrowed. They are already set up. God, Jim just doesn't care. He just doesn't care. Thankfully for Kaozfate, there are some reinforcements back at home. Banelings waddle in, but we have more Banelings where that came from. There we go. JimRising pulled the trigger. He comes in with everything he has, but the minefield is real. Ooh. The entire Ling Bane army gets cleaned up, and now this is the push to be afraid of. Kaozfate is going to push on forward. There's only 4 Banelings behind this. We need one more Widowmine shot. It's just not there, but there's no support for the mutas. Just pure muta against Marines. You never want to see that. Kaozfate is just going to stim forward and win. Do we have any Banelings ready? We do not. Oh my god, the target fire. The last minute target fire was crazy. We have 7 Banelings on the way. Can they finish in time? Marauders, they stim on forward to try and tank the Banes, and they will. There's 4 more Banelings. The Widowmines just need to burrow, and it looks like they will not. JimRising holds. Barely. Oh, the rally gets caught out. 2 more Widowmines go down without getting a single shot off. There are just no Banelings though. We can't fight off creep without Banelings. It's just not gonna work, Jim. It's not gonna work. JimRising forced to back up. Actually taking one of Kaozfate's bases. You love to see it. Kaozfate knows, by the way. He sees it with his sensor tower. God. As the parade push just doesn't end. He's pushing too far into creep though, and again he's not scanning. The Banelings roll in once again. The splits are crazy, but JimRising just doesn't have enough. Just once again pure muta against the ground army. Ooh, bit of friendly fire there by those Widowmines. Not enough shoots up. JimRising will survive once again on mass muta. God, he has no fear. He just keeps diving on these Widowmines every time. Diving on Widowmines, diving on Thors. Reinforcements are going to take down the bottom left-hand base. And again, with the muta control, he just keeps getting so much value. It's crazy. If it wasn't for these mutas, like honestly, JimRising would not be in this game. If it wasn't for his control. Meanwhile, he's rotating towards the bottom right-hand corner. We do have 3 turrets here, though, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to break through. Oh, never mind. No repairs. No repairs at all. SCVs are falling. Reinforcements are only trickling in, but at the same time, Kaozfate is pushing on forward towards the top left. Banelings crash into Marauders. JimRising wasn't looking at this army. He was focusing a little bit too much on his mutas. And that may just cost him the game. The army is steaming on forward. Nothing is left to have a couple more banelings being morphed in, but like these losses are just really piling up. JimRising is knocked down to 4 bases. The mutas are fighting back, don't get me wrong, but Kaozfate is expanding towards the top left. Like, he doesn't really care about the space. Nowhere near as much. It's nowhere near as important as the base that JimRising just lost. I mean, again, the value, you know, Jim, he will get this planetary. It's really good damage. Marauders are coming to defend. Question mark. CC goes down. More SCVs. Like, the mutas are crazy. And we do have Ling Bane. Am I on copium? I don't know. Ugh. Again, it breaks my heart to see the Ling Bane trade. You may be wondering, why is the Ling Bane doing so poorly? Well, it's because we only have 2-2. It's because we never started 3-3 and we never started Adrenal Glands. So the ground army of JimRising is just being outscaled right now. It just can't really keep up with the bio. The mutas, the sheer muta control is doing so much for Jim. He just killed 3 bases and like, what, 16 SCVs? Like, JimRising is keeping the economy equal right now, just because of the mutas. But an equal economy is not what you want, not in ZvT. Now everything is coming in. Okay, the banelings are rolling on forward. They do find, oh my god, so many connections on those mines. Juiciest connections, it's still not enough. It's crazy. Just mass muta. Oh, and the transferring workers. This hurts so much. This is the lifeblood of JimRising right now. The drones are keeping him in this game alongside the mutas. But the drones are all going to go down. 29 workers end up falling. The army stims on forward. 2-1 mutas are not going to be enough. GG gets called and Kaozfate will take the series 2-0. GG, well played to Kaozfate. Very hard fought victory there. Again, it was one of those moments where his macro was just insane. Like, there were some really questionable pushes. Let's be real. Some really questionable drops. And Kaozfate was throwing away a lot of supply doing that. But he could afford to. Because his worker count was insane. His base count was insane. Until the end. Until the end. GG, well played. Congratulations to Kaozfate as his return here to competitive play after months of being inactive. He's finally back and he makes it to the semifinals where he's gonna face one of the best players in all of Latin America, one of the best Ducklings out there as well. He is going up against the CranKy Duckling himself, Ryu.